heading over to the sawmill. We had the drive belt break on us last night. Went ahead and took the old belt off, and thankfully I must have been anticipating this particular breakdown, because I had ordered a belt maybe sometime early last year, and it was just sitting at the house. Unfortunately, last night it was not at the sawmill, so we caught it an early day, and I'm heading back over here today to replace that part. So when we get over here, I'll set you guys up and kind of walk through replacing the drive belt on this LT35 manual sawmill. All right, so here's what I did. Had to take these parts off. This little wooden block was kind of in the way, so I took it off. Maybe I didn't have to, but it looked like I probably did. Took the top cover off of the belt. I took the pulley, idler pulley, completely off, brake assembly and everything. That might have been a mistake. Maybe I could have just taken the pulley itself loose, but it looked simpler just to take that loose. We'll find out when we put it back on. Here's what it looks like exposed. The exposed pulley wheel for the engine, and then your drive wheel. And I guess now is a fantastic time to check to see how your bearings are. That's pretty tight, pretty tight. I don't think there's any problem with it. Both sides are pretty good. So the belt didn't completely come apart, but you can see it was well on its way, and I was not about to get it wrapped all up in that inner workings of the mill while she was full revved. So the way this thing routes, if I can squeeze it in there, I have to turn it sideways to begin with. The grooved side goes against the the pulley off of the engine, and that's going to be some worth a headache. Hopefully I don't jostle you guys around too much. Let me see, give you a little better angle. Goes on the pulley here. Might even have to roll that a little bit to get it worked in between these two pinch points right there. Try not to pinch my fingers off. Okay, so that's seated in there, and then you can kind of see, you can make out the area that the idler pulley sets right here. This goes over top of your idler pulley and then around this wheel. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and just put it around this wheel. Grooves against the wheel all the way on the back side of that. Go ahead and put this idler back on. Maybe that'll clear things up for me. Slide this thing back just enough to get this belt in behind it. This is where it's going to be a pain, trying to get this belt Okay, so I'm gonna take it loose here on the back side. And go ahead and get that idler fixed. Get it. The smooth side of that belt goes on top of the idler, like such. And then I'll slide the idler back into position so that it frees it up a bit. And I should be able to slide it over the drive wheel. Pull that off there, that might make life easier. Just like any belt, you have to work it on. Okay, so we're good all the way around now. At this point, I'm going to put my bolt back in my idler, and I have it's not seated all the way back. I'll take a piece of scrap wood so I don't dent the metal. Drive it up flush. I should seat in there once I get my hole lined up side to side. So you have a manual clutch right here, and that's what I'm doing, reaching across, just trying to find the line up on that clutch. I'm not quite all the way back yet. That's a 9/16. This spring, I actually broke the first one of these springs. It just corroded and came, broke at one of the ends right here. I don't remember which, but these brakes are controlled by that spring pulling back down against and stopping this wheel. So not the end of the world if it breaks, but not the safest thing either. Now, what you do from here is work on your belt tension, and Wood-Mizer calls for 7/16 with 14 pounds of pressure being exerted down on it. Now that is with the idler pulley pulled tight, with that clutch pulled tight. Now, I do not have my tool with me. I left that at the house. Also, but I'm gonna guesstimate that that's a little tight. I know I've tightened it with that old belt on, so I'm gonna go ahead and loosen that just a little bit so we're not putting too much tension on all of our bearings. And tomorrow or the next day when I'm back over here, I've got a young fella running the mill tomorrow, so it will hurt very little if it's a tad loose, but it would be more likely to harm something if it was a bit tight. I'll loosen it a little bit, button this back up, show you guys the final result. So this is your adjustment on that belt. It loosens this, which gives the belt either tension or loosens the belt. You need a 3/4 for both of these, and then you're gonna need a 7/8 for your larger, the nut that actually does the adjustment. Now this piece right here actually goes right behind the belt right there, and it kind of holds the belt onto the actual drive pulley.